Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brian the Neck Heyman, and I am the wise man advocate for your reigning, defending, undisputed leaders of the GWO. The Uzos, Mitch and Dimitri the ACT.
It's time to get a little less serious about wrestling. This is the alternate commentary table with lifelong friends.
Notice your difference in size.
And lifelong wrestling fans.
Each is a very capable performer, and each is a little too clever to give the other boy much of an advantage.
Mitch Honsius.
Credits himself with a lot of power.
And Dimitri Karolis.
So that he got all that power from drinking raw olive oil all through his youth.
Oh, I started already.
All right, let's do it.
I know.
By the way, did you see all the reaction? Tibbs McGee went fire. He called us out. Did you see it? He didn't call us out, actually, but...
No, I didn't see that.
He's like, hey, Yasu Malakas. We're like, hey! So I replied back, and then another gentleman, I'm just pulling up his name.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good time, man.
You know who I got to give a shout out to? Hold on. I will get to him.
Okay.
First, all of you need to get on track because you're listening to the alternate commentary table. That's right. It's brought to you by the McGuire on Wrestling podcast feed. That's right. Where you're downloading, streaming, or doing anything with your podcast and audio delights, go to the McGuire on Wrestling podcast feed where you can get Mike McGuire's content along with the alternate commentary table. And from the other side of the ponds, our good old friend Andy Evans with some great folklore and exposés on moments of time in wrestling. Now,
that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
You can also search for the merch on McGuireShow.com. Read a bio, buy a shirt, stay for the fun. Team MOW on the Facebook page. It's fantastic. A word that I love to say, but also people like you that I hope you stay. Alternate commentary table brought to you by our sponsors, the Uzos. Listen, shout out to the GWO.
Boom, we got a new member. A new member.
Shout out.
James Weaver. He's in.
James Weaver. You are in like Flint, baby. Welcome to the GWO.
For life.
Listen, we also want to thank our new advocate, Brian the Neck Heyman, otherwise known as GW Joe.
That's right.
Who is the official advocate of the GW Joe. Congratulations.
Always has been. Well done, sir.
And one person that I would like to extend the olive branch.
Who is this?
To welcome him into the GWO.
Okay.
If you so oblige, my friend. The answer was right in front of us, Mitch. What? It was there for the taking. We never picked up on it.
What?
It's you, Sal Greco.
Oh, right. What? I mean, it's in his name.
Greco's in the name. It's there.
How did we not grab the Greco?
That's what I said. I feel so bad. Listen here. Thank you for always chiming in. It's a lot of fun. We appreciate the support from everyone. But Sal, I was looking at the Facebook group the other day, and I go, we've not given this guy love.
Yeah.
We appreciate the praise. He chimes in, not just on our stuff, but the whole feed there.
The whole thing,
And I go, son of a gun's got the Greek in his name. And we can't bring...
We didn't think of this.
We didn't think. Maybe he's too shy to ask. It's one of those, hey, guys. Anyways, it's there for you.
Hey.
You want in? You get a free pass, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining and listening every week. Listen, you can hear it in our voices. We love this thing. Mm-hmm. We're having a great old time. So my question to you now, because last week was one of maybe my favorite pods that we've had in a while. We were serious. We had our fun. We were serious. We had our fun. And then we did the alternate scenario. But the point of the matter is that we had a good time doing it. Did you finish the Mr. McMahon documentary?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Final thoughts. Let's talk about it real quick because I'm still intrigued by it. Over 4.5 million people watched it. It's one of the highest rated ones Netflix has.
Buddy, the PK came into work the other day. He goes, I just watched, and we're talking someone who's come to the Dungeon Wrestling shows, but
friend of the family,
colleague. He comes in and he's like, dude, did you watch the documentary? Like everyone's watching it.
Yes, it's meant for everyone.
Here's what I think. I don't want to say the issue, like the issues that I'm having with it. The issue is as wrestling fans, you and I and a lot of us, a lot of the content we've actually seen or the story being told a million times over.
Right.
Okay. And so part of me gets caught up in the, Well, my initial thing was, look, I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was very good, actually. Okay. But I thought there was also a lot of filler. And in a weird way, maybe I was expecting a little more on Vince McMahon. But then you talk to PK, this is kind of his first time being up to speed with things.
Right.
Who was ranting and raving and giving it a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
And so I started to think back and I go, you know what? I do have to take that into consideration. That a lot of these moments and times, like at first I'm like, why do we need to hear about Hogan and The Rock? Like the Attitude Era, fine, but like why are we highlighting? But then I seem to forget that these were monstrous moments in time that actually helped propel the business.
Absolutely.
With the McMahon at the helm, so on and so forth. The only critique I have is part of me wishes, and I think we talked about this, and it might be your point.
Okay.
That with everything that's been going on, I kind of wish that they either gave us, this was part 1 of 2.
Okay.
Or maybe they held off a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because I did feel a little bit of a disconnect rush job when you get to episode 6.
Yes, 100%. You're absolutely right. I do wish they had a little bit more because I think they were just getting into this, right?
Yeah.
And they probably
But they delayed so long.
They did.
And then I listened to the Meltzer and the Maguire, and they talked about like...
See, I was right. 290. I said 300. 290 is a lot closer than 300. Just
there you go. Oh, yeah, you did. You did.
That's a beast.
Beast. So the thing is, but you overbid. So Price is Right rules, I win.
I might have overbid. You're right.
You overbid. If
totally
we're doing it, we don't know.
No, you're right. Okay.
So, so here's the thing. Listening to them saying, how many times they had to redo it.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We talked about it this week. My thoughts on this was this. I gave it about a 7.3, 7.5 out of 10. I did feel like they were picking on McMahon. Like the picking on him maybe is the wrong word. It was, I don't know if it was determined to go this way when they first sat down and chatted with him, or if that's what maybe Mr. McMahon wanted, because I've also heard that's what he kind of wanted to be a little bit of the bad guy, and maybe it took too far, and that's why he wanted to try to buy the documentary back from the guys and not have it out.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I couldn't get out of my brain was this. They had the Meltzer on, right? The Meltzer. They had the Hogan on quite a bit. They had, all his other buddies on there. But when they had The Rock and they had John Cena and they had Stone Cold, where arguably there's your 3 guys that are on a Mount Rushmore somewhere. If you were to click a stop clock and measure how long each one of them was on the dock, I dare you to tell me it was over 5 minutes, all 3 of them combined.
See,
which I think,
yes.
Sorry, let me finish.
Yeah.
I do think that's where we got to look a little deeper into that and say, why were the guys that made wrestling so popular for our generation not involved? Because they weren't really saying anything that negative about Mr. McMahon. And with everything that's going on, they just stayed out of it. In fact, I'll even go as far and say John Cena was probably the most honest, where he's like a father figure to me. He did not hold back, and he said, I like this guy, where everyone else stayed on the fence. That's what I got out of this whole documentary, and Shane McMahon, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah, great point. I agree. It was almost like, the thing that if you look at those 3 that you mentioned, they didn't even really talk about Vince McMahon.
That's right.
They just talked about, this is where I point where the filler about their matches and about like certain events. Like they didn't go enough into them. And so you're right. Does it beg the question because A, they had nothing bad to say?
That's right.
Which, okay, fine. If they don't, put that in there too.
I agree.
You're exposing this guy, right? Or did were they holding back because they didn't want to say anything? I don't know. But that's where it kind of fell, because Hogan,
right,
like they journeyed together. So there was a lot there. Same with Tony Atlas. Like
yes.
It's funny, like the older people, like the older generations, and Trish Stratus had more to say about Vince McMahon than these top 3 guys. And
yes.
It's like, are you guys being political on this? Like, The Rock spent more time talking about WrestleMania 18 than he did about Mr. McMahon.
That's right. 100%. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like, you see that the documentary's going this way, where they're kind of giving McMahon a hard time, or they're giving, they're telling the story. And
hard times.
Yeah, but they're also curving it where it's in the bad mode, right? Like they're making it go that way.
Hey, can I?
Yeah, please. Please.
Why is Cody Rhodes in there?
You know what? Don't get me started.
Why? Like what?
Do
Like-
not. No, I know what you're doing. You're baiting me.
Why?
You're baiting me. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
Why?
No, don't you dare.
Out of all the people, why Cody Rhodes, not Roman Reigns?
Okay. You know what? I'm not going to fight with you right now. Can we just get to the other side of the topic? The Shane
hold on,
McMahon.
Mitch.
Can we talk about Shane McMahon?
Why does Cody Rhodes got more time than The Undertaker, it felt like?
Because don't do this to me. Don't do it.
And again, all they did was talk about Cody Rhodes' story. They didn't even talk about Mr. McMahon. Mitch, what are your thoughts?
You know what? I'm not going to say anything. Mike said I have to be nice, and I'm going to be nice about it. I
Be
ain't say
nice.
Okay.
Don't mess up in
Dude,
here.
I'm going to tell you right now. I finished episode 6, and I think my wife came down and said, she's like, what's wrong? What happened? I go, Shane McMahon could be Greek. I go, that poor dude.
Yes.
Guys, I'm not joking you. I literally, my heart dropped a little bit for the guy.
Yeah.
Because if you're watching it and you're sincerely watching it, all he wanted was a hug, man. And listen, there are some people in this world that are not those kind of guys, right? Mr. McMahon clearly is not that guy. Shane McMahon dove off the top of the Hell in the Cell on top of a table.
Yep.
His sister's reaction was, oh my God, my brother is dead. And McMahon barely flinched.
Yeah.
They come back. All the wrestlers are praising him and hugging him. And it looked like the hug, it looked like McMahon's like, dude, I got a show to run. Like, you really need a hug right now? Like, yeah, I know you almost died, but who cares?
Yeah.
Dude, I literally kind of felt a little bad. I actually, my heart broke up.
Well,
a little
because
bit.
it reminded you of your childhood.
That's exactly what it
every
was.
Other,
Yes.
every other Greek whose family or
Yes.
parents owned a restaurant, and all you did was like, I can run the place.
I could do it, Dad.
Buddy, Shane McMahon.
Yes.
This was, guys, if you want a real look into our culture growing up.
Yeah.
This was it or whatever. The business belongs to me. The pizza place should be mine.
It's mine, Dad.
Not Stephanie's. She barely comes in here. She never did the deliveries. She doesn't know how to make
She doesn't cut the cheese,
She doesn't
Dad.
cut the cheese or make the pizza sauce, but I do.
So funny, man.
He's Fredo.
But, dude,
he's
yes, he's Fredo. He's
I'm
Fredo.
smart. Buddy, I've never seen, it's crazy.
It still broke my heart, man.
But I know why. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you know? Well, you think you need a laptop to run this business? Yeah, fine.
I'm telling you, man. Okay, last thing on the documentary is this. Where do you stand on that last question that was asked? What is Vince McMahon's legacy?
We talked about it briefly. Tony Atlas did say it the best.
Yes.
His legacy is being the greatest promoter
Yeah.
of all time, and not just in wrestling.
That's right.
In all of entertainment.
Yeah, you guys. I asked this to be honest.
I thought that was fair.
100%.
What I didn't like is I know what they were doing, like from a style standpoint in the documentary. Like, great question, great question, great question, and then they led up to that.
Right.
So that was pretty cool because like no one answered it. Then Atlas, because I think they liked that answer.
Right.
But I think maybe in like an outtakes, I would have liked to see what other people would have said about him.
Yeah. I think we said it last week. Just allow yourself to take out the fact of what's going on right now. Do not judge him as the person behind the ring. Like it sounds like he's a garbage guy. Fine. That's over here.
Yeah.
Okay. However, as what he did for a living and who he is in the wrestling world, guys, he's the best. Tony Atlas said it the best. He is the greatest of all time.
Look, it's the parallel is like, look at like Caligula or someone like in the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Or like Genghis Khan or any.
That's right.
Any wartime celebrated general who, let's face it, were beyond ruthless. Literally cutting heads off as they go.
Right.
But you can't deny that their empire stretched this big.
Yeah, it's
right?
true.
You can hate Alexander the Great, but you just can't deny
What he did.
that what he did, right?
right.
And that's full circle.
Yeah.
You learn your lesson that you can run 99 yards, but if you stumble on the 1 yard line, it's game over.
It's still not a touchdown.
It's still not a touchdown.
Well said.
Yep.
Last thing in the documentary. Were you surprised of how Undertaker was so old school? Like the whole thing when he brought up when they brought up the kayfabe, And he's like, oh, I hated it. I was actually kind of surprised of his reaction.
I wasn't, no.
Oh, really?
No.
I don't know why. He is old school. He's old school. I like that. I kind of like that about him. I liked it.
He was also the locker room leader as well, right?
That's also a good point. Listen, there's old school and then there's new school. Let's jump over to Raw real quick.
Okay.
Monday night. Jey Uso comes out. Yeet, yeet. New champion. Put a little blue on the belt, I noticed.
Looking good.
Not
It's
bad.
a little bit of a throwback.
I like what he's doing.
So do I.
And then something happened that I didn't want happening, and it happened. And I said it last week on the show. They're turning Braun into babyface. I didn't like it. What did you think of the whole thing? He comes out, yeah, I'm the champ. I'm going to be your fighting champ, blah, 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 all that stuff. And then Braun Breaker comes out and gets a handshake into the deal. Come on. Come on.
Well, you got beat once and all of a sudden you're a good guy?
Exactly.
You baby?
Come on. I don't know. I didn't like it, buddy.
I didn't
gotta
like
be
it
honest.
either. But then he walked up to the goonth and was like, hey.
Hey. How you doing?
And my whole thing was, why did you just kill his whole in-between bravado?
This is what I'm saying.
He could be a bad good guy.
How about the fact that why not just so you lost him the IC to go get the heavyweight belt now? And you want him to maybe win that? Or he loses to Gunther. I mean, I'm a big guy on, ever since Mike was here and he said, it's okay to lose. When I was talking about Swerve back in the day, and I'm like, they're going to wreck it if they... He was dead right. He doesn't have to win every time because then it does become weird, right?
Yeah.
But some of these storylines are so good and they got it in a good place. And then I just feel like they literally just dropped the ball right there. They just no. The Jey Uso, does he deserve the belt? Yeah. But why now? Why right now? What's the win there? With that being said, listen, I can't wait for it. It's all we all see it in the horizon. It's right there.
Yeah.
The Xavier Woods thing.
It's there.
It's coming.
So close.
Listen, I'm scared of you talking next because of how he won against the legendary Rey Mysterio. You listen, I liked it. He had to do what he had to do to win.
Now you're baiting me.
He had to do, Dimitri, what he had to do, and everyone's giving him a hard time. But I listen, the mask, that's your thing. You want to wear it. And if it comes off and you just decide to stop fighting, the other guy's got to respect you and put the mask back on?
Yeah.
I say no.
And this is where Xavier Woods is justified, in my opinion.
What?
Because, okay, Kofi, why are you yelling at him? What did you do?
Yeah, what'd you do?
I don't know. Win. Maybe a congratulations.
That's right.
Chalk one up for the team. Mm-hmm. It's not my fault that this guy had a wardrobe malfunction.
That's right.
Tighten up the mask.
That's it.
I don't know, Ray. Maybe Velcro is not a thing for you.
Maybe it's not. Yeah, tie it. What happened to the ties in the back? He never has the ties.
He always has the neck thing.
That's true. That's not safety regulation.
The chin strap and all that.
That's not safety regulation.
So, you know what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sorry. No.
I don't see why more people don't do that.
Well, exactly.
They don't do the mask pull anymore.
No one does. Apparently, you're not supposed to.
No, I know, but that was the whole thing.
I know what you mean.
He's gonna take the mask off.
Yeah. And they're freaking out.
They're freaking out.
But this is the thing. We've seen what he looks like without it on. So why is it such a thing? Is it like sacred ground? Is that what it means? Inside the ring?
No, see, I know what you're...
Is that what it is?
You're trying to bait me now.
I'm not baiting. I'm just asking a question.
Well, hold on. It's you got Cody Rhodes and I got the Luchadors and we know where it stands. And I get it and we'll meet in the middle.
All right,
and I'm not going to fall for it.
Let me ask you this then. Okay,
Let's
fine.
get back to Xavier Woods. Move on.
I'll move on to this. Kofi, though, where you think he's not really helping Xavier, helped him out. He said, hey, I got you a match next week against Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Well, I thought that was good. But
yeah,
I see right through you, Kofi.
Yeah,
you're setting him up.
He's setting.
I know
up.
what's going on here.
What do you think?
Well, here's what So, by the way, the Woods cost Kofi.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
See, in a weird, sick, twisted way, it's almost like I want Kofi to turn heel on him.
Right.
You want to wait this long and give it? No, you had your chance, Woods.
Yeah. You know what I'm starting to realize? You know how I've mentioned before, the baby faces never bring their entourage out and it's always the bad guys. It's because the baby faces are not good at being outside guys. They're horrible at it.
They're horrible at it.
They're horrible. Yeah, they don't know how to do it.
Yeah, Woods cost him the match.
Kofi's
going to cost Woods the match. That's when it's going to all break.
Do you know when we're going to figure out what happens? Is when they do, hey, we're bringing back the barbershop segment, and they bring it in.
Yes,
Then we'll know.
Yeah, then we'll know.
Then we'll know.
That'll be the scene of the crime.
This is great. This is so good.
Amazing.
This is so
And
good.
he should break the trumpet over his back.
That'd be awesome. Last one, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Thoughts and prayers to Drew McIntyre. His aunt died the other day.
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
it turns out his aunt was actually kind of like his mama. I took care of him.
Oh,
so
geez.
going into
That's
Bad Blood
that's not
tonight, which
nice.
we're going to talk about real soon. I wonder if it's going to change up the game a little bit and how it'll react to tonight's pay-per-view. We'll see. But thinking the Hell in the Cell is going to be good, man.
Look,
This is going to win it all. This is it.
These guys, we criticized that. I think the promo a little bit there the other week with CM Punk.
Yeah.
Where we thought it was, man, this feud
Yeah.
is just the epitome of bad blood.
Yeah.
For the pay-per-view.
You can tell.
Like, I'm buying into every single part of this right now.
Yeah.
I really am.
I'm like,
Great. It's great.
I'm actually maybe most likely going to get the pay-per-view tonight just because I want to see the
Right.
finale of this.
Right.
I think there's going to be a twist in the end or something's going to happen. And then, of course, everything else. This is going to be, we're going to talk about it in a few seconds. But before that.
Okay, we'll go.
Real
okay.
quick, Bronson Creed and
Reed.
Reed. Oh, did I say Reed? Creed. Reed?
Reed.
Reed what?
It's Reed. It's not.
Creed?
Is it Creed?
I think it's Creed.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I think it's Reed.
It's not.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you can Google it if you want. Anyways, and then Braun Strowman go at it, and they owe WWE money. They broke the ring.
They broke it.
They broke it, and then you know what? I think maybe they don't actually owe money because then Seth Rollins.
It's Reed.
It's Reed.
Yeah.
With an R.
With an R.
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed.
Really?
Like read, yeah, not read a book.
I
but
must
like
be dyslexic. I've got to be. I'm going to self-diagnose myself.
Oh, I thought you were just joking.
No, I must be. How do I not?
Did you watch
see?
Rocky lately?
Yeah.
See, you put Apollo Creed.
Oh,
That's what it
you
is.
You know what? That's exactly
That's what it
was.
is.
I was like, how did you know I watched it? That's so weird.
That's why, because you got Apollo Creed, and then there's
That is
Bronson Reed.
hilarious.
Because and with the Meltzer Mencers, because you watch.
I literally just read the book on Menser.
I know you
I
do
know.
the workout books all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Crazy.
Like,
I'm
sure.
sorry, you guys. I'm
No,
sorry.
don't be sorry.
No,
I just,
So thoughts on that? Are you mad that these monsters are done? Like I kind of wanted to see them in a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, what? Yes.
Yes, but they broke the ring.
But I do like how the Seth Rollins
Yeah.
came rolling in on his face.
I did like it. You know what? Out of nowhere, no one saw it coming. Stomps them. They already had a previous beef. I like
man.
it. Great way to bring them back in.
And I was surprised as a fan. I didn't even know. And in my head, I'm like, I haven't seen the Rollins there.
Where you been?
Where you been?
Where you been?
You know?
All right, real quick. Let's get to Bad Blood. That's happening tonight. Bad Blood. Get your pay-per-view money out. It's the only one this month. I mean, AEW had all the other ones, so it's all good. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley championship match. Dominic will be hanging from the crowd in a cell. They're putting him back in the cell. This is not good for him. Trauma, all that stuff is real. Let's go. What do you got?
I have Rhea Ripley winning.
Really?
I do.
It makes sense.
I think she gets it back here.
I don't know why, but I want Liv because here's the thing: if Rhea gets it, makes sense. I get it. She never really lost it to get it back and all that fun stuff, right? But then what do you do with Liv?
Does Dom go back?
What? That's a good little line.
Does he go back?
I mean, she does. Everyone deserves a second chance.
Well, sometimes you got to let things go.
You know, true.
Only for them
true.
to come back and be stronger.
That's when you know that you were actually
true
in
love.
love. Yeah,
That's
true
right.
love. Yeah, exactly. Finn Balor and Damian Priest. I don't think either one's coming back to each other in that one.
No.
Yeah, I know.
God,
right?
I don't know. Part of me is like, well, it should be Damian Priest, but I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I'm going to go Balor here.
I'm going Balor. Because especially if Liv loses, then Finn's got to win.
Yeah.
Because what, you're going to give the Judgment Day 2 losses at a pay-per-view? That's not good.
Or they decimate the Judgment Day.
Maybe.
During this.
Maybe. But they seem to finally get a little traction now.
I know.
That's why I say don't wreck it.
And McDonough's head doesn't look so big.
It's not as big as we thought.
He's starting to grow into it now. I don't know. It's this new look.
Well, here's one I saw yesterday on SmackDown. By the way, SmackDown. Come on, my God. My God. There's a reason I'm not talking about you guys 3 weeks in a row now. Nia Jax and Bayley. Again, championship
Is the
match.
cash in happening?
You know what? It's close.
I don't know if
is
it's
it ready? No, I don't want it yet.
I'm gonna go with the.
You going with Nia and the cash in?
You know what? I'm calling an audible.
Okay.
Bailey wins.
Oh,
The Stratton cashes in on the Bailey.
I like that.
So that those two can stay together.
Right.
And now she's got the championship and they're still kind of friends.
Right.
But they're not.
Yes. You know what? That's a good one. That's a
I
good
like
one.
it.
I'm not going to fight you on it.
I like it.
I kind of like that.
I see the vision
you
here.
son of a gun, you. You son of a gun. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to go with the Drew Mack and CM Punk match next. I think that's going to actually headline, but
Okay.
which would be weird to me. But
Right.
yeah.
What are your thoughts? You go this one. Because I got my opinion.
I'm going to go. I don't know why, but I think it's CM Punk.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I think it's CM Punk, and it shouldn't be. This is where CM Punk should allow Drew over. Because look, we talked it on the sports show earlier. It's young versus old now, guys,
Yeah.
and it's time. CM, you've had your moments. You're still getting
Right.
your moments. You're still going to be headlining some stuff. Blah blah blah. But I think. You know what? Where you think it's a 1, it's a 2 with these guys. I'm gonna go CM Punk.
Can I tell you what I got?
Yeah, go.
This is a good one.
Go.
It's a good one.
It's a good. What do you got?
I think
Yeah.
it ends up being a draw.
What in the hell in the cell? That's the whole idea of it.
Exactly. I think they both almost kill each other.
Right.
To the point where once they come to,
Right.
they have that respect moment and then they move on.
What?
That's what I got.
Oh, I like that.
That's what I got.
It's not bad, but it's unfinished. Like,
Because
I like that
otherwise
idea, but I don't see it happening.
But otherwise, someone's got to one up on someone.
True, but I mean, it's just a part of the world now that we live in. Even though
if I had
it's
to-
weird. It sounds like I want Drew to win, which I do, because
do.
I think he deserves it.
See, I'm gonna pick-
But CM Punk,
Yeah.
for some reason, I feel is going to be maybe pulling rank and saying, no, I'm not ready yet. No. I'm
if
not
I had
doing
to
it.
pick one, I'm picking the McIntyre.
I'm not giving the belt back.
But I think it's a draw. Two controversial calls.
Okay, last one. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. What? Tagging together versus the Bloodline. Wait, I thought Roman Reigns was part of the Bloodline, but he's not. He's OTC. Okay, if you don't mind, I'll save my piece on this one.
Oh, because I got mine already.
Oh, yeah. Well, we all know something's going to happen where somebody's coming in. Mm-hmm. Now, does
Don't take
Does The Rock come back tonight? No. It'll be another member, an ex-member, probably Jimmy, coming
Yeah,
in
that's
and
funny you
somehow
say that.
causing a little bit of a kerfuffle.
That was my pick.
That was your pick.
Yeah, Jimmy's going to come in.
Okay.
And, but whose side is he on?
See, he's got to be on Roman's side.
Yeah, he does.
He's got to be, because right now the numbers are just stacked against him, right?
Yeah, he will be.
He's
He
got
will be. He will be.
Because Cody's not going to stay on that team. Cody's just there for the sake of being Cody.
That's right.
God forbid there's a pay-per-view and he's not on it. You know?
I agree.
What I'm really hoping is somehow Kevin Owens comes and hits him with the chair. That's. I'm just saying it's a dream of mine. It's just a dream.
It's brewing.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Kevin's getting a little upset. And yesterday, real quick, actually on SmackDown, I don't know if you saw AJ Styles return.
Love it.
Do you think that knee injury was real?
Might have been.
Yeah.
Might have been.
It kind of looked like it buckled a little
Hey,
bit.
by
man.
the way, the
Yeah.
dumpster match.
Yeah. I don't know what to think of it.
The best part of the match was Nick Aldis, like doing the PU.
Yeah.
Where he's like, your girls stink.
He is the greatest actor I've ever seen.
He really is.
He's so
I
good.
love the Aldis.
He is the national treasure.
I like him better and better as I see him more.
You know what? I'm going to get the pay-per-view tonight. I just convinced myself. I'm doing it.
yeah,
I'm doing it.
yeah.
I'm going to
Fair,
get it.
fair,
All right.
fair.
Listen, I would talk a lot about AEW, but I'm not going to. Real quick, I guess we'll just talk a couple of things. Congratulations on 5 years, though. I'll say
Yeah.
it to you. Hey, thanks for being here.
5 years.
You've made the other guys honest. That's what I'm just going to say.
Agreed.
You know what I
Agreed.
mean? You're bringing them up.
Hey, by the way, I wanted to say, I will say one thing about AEW.
Yeah.
First and foremost,
Right.
the Hangman.
Yeah.
I like him each and every week more.
I'm not lying to you. It's in my notes.
It's everyone.
It's getting better.
It's getting better.
It's because he doesn't have a microphone, by the way.
Yes, and here's the other thing.
Yeah.
And his mustache his
puffier?
mustache is more intense.
Yeah, it's good.
It's an intense stash. But listen, I'll tell you what I am really liking, and they finally fixed it.
Yeah.
Instead of the dumb Blackpool Combat Club where no one was from Blackpool, England.
Right.
And they still stuck it. It's like the dumbest thing ever. They found a way to finally flip the script.
Right.
I'm loving the promos.
Yes.
I'm loving the characters.
They're doing it.
I'm loving the whole. That Moxley
Crew.
Claudio, crew.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah.
It's working.
It is absolutely working. I like it. I would just say for them, they got, and I know everyone thinks I'm joking, but I'm serious. They got to stop coming out of the crowd.
Yeah.
It's not like, do it once, but you can't be doing it multiple times. It actually looks bad.
It looks bad.
I'm serious.
Can I just say one thing? I saw a reel on so I'm ripping this idea off, but I saw a reel on the intranets there.
Right.
And it was the Will Ospreay Ricochet match.
Yes.
And some guy tagged, like in the beginning, he's like, this is not wrestling.
This is the greatest gymnastics performance.
This is like a gymnastics routine
Yeah.
or whatever. You know what? Whoever put that up is right. There comes a point when like you're like isn't the whole point to be doing moves?
You know what? Here's the thing: we're all suckers for the Flash, right?
I know.
You ever watch obviously Scarface?
Yeah.
You know, Flash in the pan never
Yeah.
works, kind of thing. You know that whole thing. Yeah, that's what it is with these guys. That match I think is more for the kids. With all respect, I really do, because it is a lot of hopping around.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. It was like me and you, like we're in high school and we're tasked to make like a kung fu movie,
Right.
Or like we have to do a project and we're like, well, let's do a martial arts movie.
Yeah.
And we're just like doing like moves.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It's got to go.
Yeah,
It's got to go.
It's got to go. I do agree. I think the hype is over. Like you guys don't need to do all that stuff. You guys
Ospreay, MJF. Yeah, flips, moves.
Yeah.
You got a traditional wrestler and a flyer. Yeah, I get all that.
Right.
The luchador stuff, I get all that because every move there's purpose to it. These guys, I got to agree with whoever put that on. Didn't like it.
So at the end, Brian's taking on Okada, right? I'm going to just say this to the AEW. You listen to me and you listen to me well. Back in the day, The Rock did the elbow, right? The people's elbow.
Yeah.
And it was, everybody talks about it. Till this day, everyone loves it, okay? Actually, I heard, I was watching a reel where Ken Shamrock was the first one to ever get it from The Rock. And he didn't know, right? He didn't, it was developed that day, I guess, in the match.
Wow.
Okada's middle finger, when, they do it in a way where the camera goes right in and comes out, and he fingers the camera. That is the new people's finger.
It is the
you need
best
to do it.
move in wrestling.
It is so good.
He's amazing.
Yes.
Like he is like Okada
Yes.
is just
Great.
amazing. What do you want?
What do you want? He is for a guy that doesn't speak the language. He gets it.
Oh man.
He's reading the crowd. He knows what works for him. And he's doing it beautiful. And each week we know what he's going to do, like The Rock.
Yes.
The eyebrow. We smell with the. We are falling for the same thing. We're waiting. We're all anticipating. We're like, oh, do it, please.
Yeah, I want it.
There it is. All right, we're off to the alternate scenario.
Ooh.
Now, lately we've been doing a lot of questionnaires, like kind of rapid banter back and forth, and it's going to stay the same because, that's the way I like it.
All right,
now,
partner.
okay? All right. Cody Rhodes named as presenter for the 2024 People's Choice Country Awards. Would you rather see him or Daddy do it? I'm going to tag you in.
You got to give it to Daddy.
You got to give it to Daddy.
You got to give it to Daddy.
And just another spotlight where Cody needs to be there to give out the Country Music Awards.
You love it. Hold on. Let me tag you in with a question. I know you didn't want questions, but I'll tag you in. Why was he in the documentary?
I got a side question to that. Maybe Honky Tonk Man should be presenting. Why isn't the Honky Tonk Man presenting?
Agreed. Great point.
Thank you.
Great point.
That's who should be. I'll even take Jeff Jarrett as a second alternate. But you go and put Cody in. I'm moving on. The Miz backstabbed R-Truth. I'm tagging you in. How right was I?
When you're right, you're right. It's not personal. It's just business. Let me take you in.
Dude, I mean, I've been waiting for this for the day they actually became friends. He should have did it that moment. Letting this linger the way it did. It's a dead play. It's a dead play.
You're right.
We're gonna watch these two go at it now.
You're right.
This is all you give me. I gotta watch 3 hours of Raw for this? Give me a break. Come on. Okay, last one. In watching Hogan in the documentary versus Mr. McMahon, I'm not joking. The documentary was basically Mr. McMahon, but I couldn't help but I have new feelings for Hulk Hogan now. What are your thoughts on Hulk Hogan after watching the documentary? I'm tagging you in.
Man, I want to know what he really knows.
Yeah.
Like this guy knows a lot
Yes.
about the business and everything.
Yes.
But I will say this, True Thoughts,
Yeah.
he has solidified to me why he is the greatest of all time. When you start to see the trajectory of wrestling, of McMahon taking it there
Yeah.
with a marquee wrestler who helped build it as well, you guys, how do you argue that Hogan is not the GOAT? Overall, like
Yeah.
he was just as much like they had to go through territories to get big.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Whereas if you look now, a Roman Reigns is just walking into the developed WWE.
That's right.
These guys were the first on the trail. Let me take you in.
I think you said everything I kind of wanted to say, just differently. He is Mr. McMahon's tag partner. They together without each other. I don't know if they are what they are today.
Brady Belichick.
Brady Belichick. Yes, very much.
That is all
Well
that
said.
they are.
That's it right there.
Just like Mitch and Dimitri. Just like Maguire on wrestling. Just like the ACT, the GWO, the OO.
Those?
Herding sheep since day Anna-ish, my friend. Awesome. Look, thank you very much for always tuning in, for listening to us. Thank you for all the support and the love on all the channels. Again, please subscribe, Maguire on Wrestling Podcast. Maguire Show drops tomorrow. You got the Andy Evans who's coming a few days after that. Really appreciate the support. MaguireShow.com. Team MOW on the Facebook page. But until then, my friends, we will see you next week. And when we do, hey, no bad blood between us.
There's nothing wrong. Chair shot.